This is Cynthia Gwiazda, Community Services Librarian at Hagaman Library. I'm excited to join you today on this kind of snowy day outside. So I have some books to share with you, some new books available at the library this month. So without further ado, I'm going to start that. Share these with you. Okay, so some new adult fiction available this month. Oops. All right. The book I'd like to talk to you about is called Spin by Patricia Cornwell. In the aftermath of a NASA rocket launch gone terribly wrong, Captain Callie Chase comes face to face with her missing twin sister, as well as the startling truth of who they really are. Now, a top secret program put in motion years ago has spun out of control. Only Callie can redirect its course. Aided by cutting-edge technologies, the NASA investigator and scientist turned Space Force pilot sets out on a frantic search for the missing link between the sabotage rocket launch and her predetermined destiny, a search that someone else seems very interested in stopping. From NASA to the Chase family farm, to the White House to distant orbits of space, Callie plays a high-stakes game of hide and seek with a cunning and ruthless adversary. One wrong move will unleash cataclysmic consequences reaching far beyond the boundaries of Earth. This heart-pounding Captain Chase thriller from Patricia Cornwell will leave you desperate for more. Spin by Patricia Cornwell. The next book I'd like to talk to you about is Mom and Dad by Joanna Trollope. What happens when family roles are reversed and the children must look after the mom and dad? It's been 25 years since Gus and Monica left England to start a new life in Spain, building a wine business from the ground up. However, when Gus suffers a stroke and their idyllic Mediterranean life is thrown into upheaval, it's left to their three grown-up children in London to step in. As the children descend on the vineyard, it becomes clear that each has their own idea of how best to handle their mom and dad, as well as the family business. But as long simmering resentments rise to the surface and tensions reach the breaking point, can the family ties prove strong enough to keep them together? And that's Mom and Dad by Joanna Trollope. The Diplomats' Wife by Pam Genov. 1945, Marta Niederman has barely survived the brutality of a Nazi concentration camp, where she was imprisoned for her work with the Polish resistance. Lucky, to have escaped with her life, she meets Paul, an American soldier, who gives her hope of a happier future. The two make a promise to meet in London, but Paul is in a deadly plane crash and never arrives. Finding herself pregnant and alone in a strange city, Marta finds comfort with a kind British diplomat, and the two soon marry. But Marta's happiness is threatened when the British government seeks her help to find a communist spy, an undercover mission that resurrects the past with far-reaching consequences. Set during the time of great upheaval and change, The Diplomat's Wife, a gripping early work from Pam Genov, is a story of survival, love, and heroism, and a great testament to the strength of women. It's called The Diplomat's Wife by Pam Genov. History of Mrs. Christie by Marie Benedict. In December 1926, Agatha Christie goes missing. Investigators find her empty car on the edge of a deep, gloomy pond. The only clues, some tire tracks nearby and a fur coat left in the... Strange for a frigid night. Her World War I veteran husband and her daughter have no knowledge of her whereabouts, and England unleashes an unprecedented manhunt to find the up-and-coming mystery author. 11 days later, she reappears, just as mysteriously as she disappeared, claiming amnesia and providing no explanations for her time away. The puzzle of those missing 11 days has persisted. With her trademark historical fiction exploration into the shadows of the past, acclaimed author Marie Benedict brings us into the world of Agatha Christie. Imagining why such a brilliant woman would find herself at the center of such murky historical mysteries. What is real and what is mystery? What role did her unfaithful husband play? And what was he not telling investigators? Agatha Christie novels have withstood the test of time, due in no small part to Christie's masterful storytelling and clever mind that may never be matched. But Agatha Christie's untold history offers perhaps her greatest mystery of all. That's The Mystery of Mrs. Christie by Marie Benedict. Dictionary by Ellie Williams. Peter Winsworth, Victorian lexicographer, is toiling away at the letter S for Swansby's multi-volume encyclopedic dictionary. His disaffection compels him to insert unauthorized fictitious entries into the dictionary in an attempt to assert some sense of individual purpose and artistic freedom. In the present day, Mallory, a young intern employed by the publisher, is tasked with uncovering these Mount Weasels before the work is digitized. She also has to contend with threatening phone calls from an anonymous caller. Is the change in the definition of marriage really that upsetting? And does the caller really intend for the Swansby staff to burn in hell? As these two narratives combine, both Winsworth and Mallory discover how they might negotiate the complexities of the often nonsensical, relentless, untrustworthy, hoax-strewn, and undefinable path we call life. An exhilarating debut novel from a formidably brilliant young writer. The Liar's Dictionary celebrates the rigidity, fragility, absurdity, and the joy of language. That's called The Liar's Dictionary by Ellie Williams. Against the Loveless World by Susan Abulhawa. As Nahar sits, locked away in solitary confinement, she spends her days reflecting on the dramatic events that landed her in prison in a country she barely knows. Born in Kuwait in the 1970s to Palestinian refugees, she dreamed of falling in love with the perfect man, raising children, and possibly opening her own beauty salon. Instead, the man she thinks she loves jilts her after a brief marriage. Her family teeters on the brink of poverty, and she is forced to prostitute herself, and the U.S. invasion of Iraq makes her a refugee, as her parents had been. After trekking through another temporary home in Jordan, she lands in Palestine, where she finally makes a home, falls in love, and her destiny unfolds under Israeli occupation. Nahar's subversive humor and moral ambiguity will resonate with fans of My Sister, the Serial Killer. Her dark contemporary struggle places her as the perfect sister to Carmen Maria Machado's Her Body and Other Parties. That's called Against the Loveless World by Susan Abulhawa. Black Buck by Matteo Ascaripor. An ambitious 22-year-old Darren lives in a bed-stuy brownstone with his mother, who wants nothing more than to see him live up to his potential as the valedictorian of Bronx science. But Darren is content working at Starbucks in the lobby of a midtown office building, hanging out with his girlfriend. Soraya hanging out with his girlfriend Soraya and eating his mother's home-cooked meals. All that changes when a chance encounter with Rhett Daniels, the silver-tongued CEO of New York City's hottest tech startup, results in an exclusive invitation for Darren to join an elite sales team on the 36th floor. After enduring a hell week of training, Darren, the only Black person in the company, reimagines himself as Buck, a ruthless salesman unrecognizable to his friends and family. But when things turn tragic at home and Buck feels he's hit rock bottom, he begins to hatch a plan to help young people of color infiltrate America's sales force, setting off a chain of events that forever changes the game. Black Buck is a hilarious, razor-sharp skewering of America's workforce. It's a propulsive, crackling debut that explores ambition and race and makes way for a necessary new vision of the American dream. That's called Black Buck by Matteo Ascarapor. And that ends our thank you very much for joining me to talk about some new books available at the library today. So please call the library at 203-468-3890 if you'd like to borrow any of these titles. If they are checked out, we can place them on reserve for you. You can also log into your account by going to the library's website at www.hagaman, H-A-G-A-M like Mary, A-N like Nancy, library.org. So that's www.hagamanlibrary.org. So please go to our website, log into your account. You can put things on reserve from there, or you can also always call us. We are open today. Today's Thursday, February 18th, but we are closing at 5 due to this inclement weather outside. But please do call us, and we can put reserves on any of these titles for you. And you can either pick them up. You could pick them up tomorrow or Saturday. We're open 10 to 5 tomorrow and 10 to 5 on Saturday. And we have curbside pickup available. So you can always call us. We can place them on reserve, or if they're checked out, or we can, if they are available, we can certainly get them for you to come and pick up. So please enjoy. For this evening, we are closing for curbside service, but please, and for computer access tonight, just due to the inclement weather, but please do go to our website. We have digital services available. We have Hoopla Digital, where you can stream movies and you can get access to audiobooks and ebooks. So please check that out. Of other digital services there available, Overdrive, as well as Simply E. So please check out our website and our digital services, which are available 24/7. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I look forward to seeing you next month with our March, our new books for March. So thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day today.